All right, so think about this. On one side, you've got the 35,000 choices we supposedly make every single day. And on the other, just one single ancient secret. Now, this isn't just a clever title. It's really the core conflict of living in the modern world. Let's see which one comes out on top. I mean, you know that feeling, right? That sense of being pulled in 1,000 different directions at once. Every single notification, every email, every tiny decision, it just feels like another drop of water in a bucket that's already about to spill over. It's that classic paralysis by analysis, and honestly, it's a kind of exhaustion that feels very, very modern. We dress it up with nice words like ambition or hustle culture, but if we're being honest, so much of the time, it just feels like we're sprinting on a treadmill, chasing a finish line that someone keeps moving further away. We try to optimize everything, we schedule every minute, we're always striving for more, and what's the end result? We're just drained. It's a relentless pursuit of exhaustion. But what if the fix for a modern age of anxiety isn't some new app or another productivity hack? What if the answer isn't new at all? What if we need to look back, like way back? We're going to take a trip from today all the way to Athens around 300 BCE, because that's where our story and our solution really gets started. Now, this secret wasn't dreamed up in a quiet library or during some peaceful meditation retreat. No, it was forged in the fire of a complete and total disaster. Which kind of proves the point, doesn't it? Sometimes our biggest breakthroughs don't come from comfort. They come from catastrophe. So, let me introduce you to Zeno of Citium. This guy was a seriously wealthy merchant from Phoenicia, sailing all over the Mediterranean, basically killing it in the business world. His entire life's work, his fortune, it was all tied up in his fleet of cargo ships. And then one day, a single violent storm changed absolutely everything. He got caught in one catastrophic shipwreck, and just like that, in an instant, his money, his cargo, his entire career, it was all gone, sunk to the bottom of the sea. He washed up in Athens with literally nothing to his name. So, what's a guy to do? He wandered into a bookshop, and in there, he started reading about Socrates and was so completely captivated that he turned to the bookseller and asked, "Where can I find a man like this?" By losing everything he thought he owned, he stumbled upon an idea that was worth more than any treasure he'd ever shipped. So, what was this big secret that Zeno found in that bookshop? Well, he discovered the building blocks for a whole new school of philosophy we now call Stoicism. And right at the very heart of it is one incredibly powerful, life-altering idea. This is the one secret we've been talking about, the dichotomy of control. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, a man who, by the way, was born a slave and rose to become one of the most respected teachers in the entire Roman Empire, he put it this plainly. This one sentence, this is the whole key. It's the filter you can run all of life's chaos through. So what does this actually mean in practice? Well, it's a simple but definitely not easy mental exercise. It's all about drawing a firm line in the sand. On one side of that line, you put all the things you have direct, absolute control over. And on the other side, everything else. The secret is to pour all of your energy into the things on your side of the line and simply learn to accept what's on the other. Okay, so let's get practical. What's actually up to us? Things like our opinions, our motivations, our desires, and the effort we choose to put into something. These are 100% ours. Now, what's not up to us? The final outcome of that effort. You can give the best presentation of your life, but you can't control how your boss is going to react. Your reputation? Nope, that lives in the minds of other people. Even our own bodies to a point. We can eat healthy, but we can't just command ourselves not to get sick. And the actions of other people? Definitely not up to us. The huge insight here is that we create so much of our own anxiety by obsessing over that right-hand column instead of just focusing on the left. And to really bring this idea to life, the Stoics had this absolutely brilliant metaphor. the Stoic Archer. Think about it for a second. What's an archer's goal? We'd all say hitting the bullseye, right? But a Stoic would disagree. For the Stoic archer, the real goal is to execute the perfect shot, to do everything within their power to make that shot true. The result, whether it hits the target or not, is actually secondary. And this perfectly lays out what the archer can actually control. They can practice their craft for hours. They can select the absolute best bow and arrows they can find. They can perfect their stance, their breathing, their aim, and they can control the release of that arrow with incredible precision. But the moment that arrow leaves the bow, it's out of their hands. A sudden gust of wind could kick up, the target could fall over, anything could happen. The Roman politician Cicero just nailed this concept. Hitting the mark is to be chosen. Of course, that's what you prefer, it's what you're aiming for, but it's not to be desired, meaning your self-worth, your sense of success isn't tied to it. Your pride comes from the quality of your effort, from that perfect release. That's where you find your value. Okay, so we've talked about shipwrecks and archers. What is the actual payoff for applying this ancient secret to our frantic modern lives? The payoff has a name, ataraxia. It's this fantastic Greek word for a deep state of inner peace and tranquility. It's not about being cold or emotionless. It's about being untroubled. It's a kind of freedom from all that mental noise and distress, no matter what's going on around you. This is the real promise of this philosophy. When you stop chaining your happiness to things you can't control, you become free. You can be stuck in the worst traffic jam and focus on the music you're listening to, not the ticking clock. You can get some harsh criticism and focus on how you respond with dignity, not on their opinion. Your focus is always on what you do next, which is always, always in your power. And really, in the end, this whole thing isn't about defending yourself from the world. It's about building something powerful inside of you, an inner citadel, a quiet sanctuary in your mind that no external event, no person, and no disaster can ever truly touch. So I'll just leave you with this one question. Forget about the other 34,999 things that are screaming for your attention. In the middle of all that chaos, what is the one thing, your effort, your perspective, your very next action, that you will truly choose to control today?